Hello and welcome, all agents, trainers, Pikmin bloomers, ballers, Peridot daughters, lightship pilots, eighth wall advertisers, and our beloved explorers and wayfinders. Thank you for choosing the Wayspotters podcast. This is episode 70, and we are recording on Friday, May 12th. I got a great show planned for you today. We got lots of stuff to talk about. Before we get into all that, with me as always is Jamal. Hey, Jamal, how's it going?
Hey, man, what's going on today?
Not much.
I'm Peridot doting, whatever it is. I've been playing Peridot, kinda, just to see if I can get into it.
Yeah, same here. I think I probably hit the point where I'm not going to play it a whole lot anymore because of the paywall, but...
Right. Yeah, they let you have like the first few levels and stuff for free. Then they're like, all right, now that you're kind of hooked, go buy some coins.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cute. I think the kids will enjoy it, but
I don't know if it's for me long term.
Yeah.
You know, just like I got what's the other one? Pikmin Bloom. I'm up to like level 50 or something in Pikmin Bloom, but I'm kind of like, just kind of keep it on in the background. Like I'll just listen to what Sarah Amanda has to say about it and I'll do that. But other than that, it's been a good week in Wayfarer. I nominated 9 new POIs.
Nice. Yeah, you had a gold mine out there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So for everybody, there's a new greenway that just opened in my part of town. And that's what I've been talking about, that I've been doing, like walking out in the forest. So I nominated like 7 footbridges. They're like legit bridges, like over the Long Creek. That's the name of the creek, is Long Creek. So it kind of winds around through the greenway. So I nominated all the bridges. And wouldn't you know it, Chris, each bridge just happened to be in its own cell, coincidentally. No, perfect. Really, it is. It's really in its own cell.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So then I nominated a lot of like, when you're walking down a greenway and they have like the neighborhood exit signs, I nominated some of those. So later on, I don't want to derail what you have planned, but if we have time and you want to see some of the nominations, I can pull them up. But
yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to see what you have to talk about today.
We got a lot to talk about today, and a couple things that I wanted to bring up just as a warning to everybody. So let's start with the news. Because I know Niantic isn't super great about communication. They're great about being on the forums and replying to people on the forums and spreading information on the forums. But if you're not on the forums, you don't get a whole lot, right? So I am making a commitment for Jamal and I. I am going to pay extra attention to the forums, and I will tweet out anything that's relevant. So make sure you're following our Twitter. And I will bring it up every week or two on the show, and we can go through all the stuff that is on the forum. So even if you're not on Twitter, because I know there's a lot of people who are not on Twitter, you can listen to our podcasts and we will tell you what you need to know.
I love that, because I, for whatever reason, I'm not on the forums like all day, every day. Mainly because it's easier for me to be on Twitter because I get alerts to my phone and people get at me, and to get on the forums on a mobile device is it's not an app, so you got to go through a browser and it's just kind of clunky. The forums for me is a lot easier on the desktop, and when I'm working, it's hard to have like non-work stuff up on my desktop on my work computer if I don't have my my personal computer. If I'm in the office, I don't take my MacBook into the office, so I'm just working off of my work computer, and I try to keep all that stuff off my work computer. So I'm not on the forums a lot unless I'm at home or it's the weekend.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I have a bit of a different setup at my work. I have 3 monitors, so one of my monitors is usually dedicated to something that's not work.
So they're not listening, right?
No.
Yeah. Well,
and even if they are, I get my work done, so it doesn't matter.
Right. No, I do have Discord up, usually at work, and that's fine. I just try not to do a whole lot of non-work stuff on the work computer, just for security reasons. And, we've had some stuff go on. So but Discord's pretty safe, but I just try to keep the work computer to the work computer. And then anything else, like I have it on my phone, Twitter's on my phone, Instagram, YouTube, all the stuff's on my phone. So as the day goes on, if there's something going on, I'll hit you up on Discord or something like that. And I just usually do that from my phone. So that's it.
Oh, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
The commitment you're making to the news, I think, is great. I think it's going to help the explorers and the wayfinders and those people who are like me and aren't on the forums a whole lot. because there's a lot of things that get cluttered on there. So I think that's great. You're going to keep us updated on the news. So what is in the news?
All right. So number one, somebody posted that the photo. So when you're doing the reviews on your phone, speaking of your phone, when you're doing the reviews on your phone, since they've added the address back, that photo just shrunk. So it's super small. If you're watching the video version, I'll post a video. I'll post a little screenshot of it that I've got. But Niantic is looking into it, and it's escalated to the team, so they're going to look into it and see if they can fix it and come up with a solution there. So I did a couple of reviews on the mobile version, and yeah, it's like that photo is tiny, right? And you can tell, especially if that address is super long. Like I had one that was British Columbia, and it was like it was huge. The address was like 3 lines long, and it's brutal. So they are looking at it. So if you do reviews on mobile regularly, that they are working on a solution.
Okay, good.
Number two, Ingress agents' names still appearing on Wayspot. So in October of 2021, that's how long this one's been going on.
October of 2021.
October of 2021. Somebody posted. So there's an option in the Wayfarer settings says codename display for Wayspot submissions, and you can turn it off if you don't want your agent name or trainer name or whatever appearing on Wayspots in the game that you nominated it in. You can turn it off. It works for Pogo. It does not work for Ingress.
Interesting.
And it hasn't worked for Ingress ever. Like it worked for Pogo for a bit, and then it didn't work, and now it works again. But it's never worked for Ingress. And somebody tagged Niantic again. So Niantic Aaron posted Tuesday morning that they are currently working on it, and will share an update soon.
Okay.
So
I only like we said, this is interesting. We talked about this last week. I only nominate through Ingress. I never nominate through Pogo unless I'm out of Ingress nominations, which has only happened twice. I think I've run out of Ingress nominations. So, but I only nominate through Pogo, so my name never shows up anywhere.
Right. Yeah. See, I would love my name to show up in every game, but that's just and I completely understand for security safety reasons you don't want your name on a Wayspot. I totally get it. Right. But yeah, so someone finally tagged me. It was like, guys, please take this seriously. This is a big issue. So
yeah, come and fix this.
Yeah. Next, edits being held up in the system, and I'm glad that somebody posted about this because I have been super frustrated about this, and I thought it was just me. I have 63 edits that are still pending.
Now, Chris, tell me, because I sent you a message that I got from Niantic the other day that said, "Oh, your edit for this was accepted," and I was like, "I don't remember what the heck I did in January." So, how do you know? How can you tell you have 63 edits? Is this you keeping track, or where are you getting this information from?
I have a spreadsheet. So I have a spreadsheet where I keep every single edit that I do, and I put in what the edit is. If it's a title edit, I put what I changed the title to, because if it gets approved, the email will say your edit for this Wayspot, and it will use the new title instead of the old title has been approved. So I found it confusing sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't remember submitting an edit for that. It's not in my list, right? And then
so for the normal everyday average Wayspotter explorer, they wouldn't know this unless they keep a spreadsheet. There was no way for them to know.
And that's the frustrating thing for me too, is because I do so many edits, and I know a lot of people, it doesn't show up in your contributions on the Wayfarer page, right? And that's a big thing that everybody wants. And I would personally like it. I don't want it to show up with all my Wayspot nominations because I do so many and it would get cluttered. I would like a second tab.
Ooh, right? A second tab would be awesome. Yeah. Where it keeps all your edits.
Yes. If Niantic, if you're listening, another free idea.
Now I will say this. I do my edits in Pokemon Go, but I do my submissions through Ingress.
Interesting.
Because I don't usually have Ingress up. Like I said, I'm trying to fall back in love with Ingress again. Like I do my daily streaks, and if I click on something and I can throw a link, I'll throw a link. I'm like the worst, by the way. Like, since I haven't been planning things out, I'm just throwing links left and right. I'm sure people are like, what the hell is this guy doing? He just blocked all this stuff. So, but as I'm going through, if I see something, I'll do it in Pogo, and I'll say, all right, we need to change the description or the title. But I don't necessarily open Ingress just to go and make a description. I'll do that through Pogo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can't do any edits through Ingress yet. So I found out that Ingress is level 12 for certain things. I'm like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. You got to get out there and do some microfielding. And
yeah,
you're level 9 right now, 8 or 9?
8. I'm like 20,000 away from 9.
20,000 is not a lot. That's like a half day play, and that's you can get.
Yeah, I'll get it this weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so 63 edits I got pending. My average edit I apologize before I tell you this, but my average edit turnaround is 14 days. And my oldest right now is February 26th. So that's 75 days that I've been waiting. So
my first edit that I got, I sent you the screenshot with January the 10th.
Yeah,
January the 10th. We are in May.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my life. And the funny thing is, I have ones I submitted before that when they just plucked that one right out of the middle. There's some from September, October, November, and they just plucked the January one out and gave it to me. So I don't even know why.
Weird.
So I had to go and search the Wayfarer app in order to remember where that one was.
That's amazing. Yeah, my oldest is February. So like and a lot of these are edits that are Wayspots and Pokestops that I go to regularly. So I keep looking at it and going, did I do this one?
Right.
So I just stopped doing edits because I have so many that are pending. I can't keep a track in my brain which ones I've done and which ones I haven't. Right. So I'm going to wait for them all to resolve and then go back out again and fix a bunch of other stuff. Crazy. So they're looking at it. They have a plan to address the old edits that are in the system. I think what happened was that they've prioritized old Wayspot nominations and getting that cleared up. And
5.5 days. I see your note. For those of you who can't see our show notes, which is everybody, he put 5.5 days, and in parentheses he put sorry, Jamal. And I can just feel the sarcasm dripping off of that. When I read it, I'm like, ooh, just stick the knife in and turn it. Like, oh.
I do feel bad. I genuinely feel bad.
You know what it is? Niantic wants to make me work for it, right? So I have to review thousands of Wayspots to get upgrades, and you don't even. What do you have? How many upgrades do you have pending right
now? Let me check. I have it open.
It's some obscene number right now.
34.
Oh my god! Do you know what I would do with 34 upgrades? Like I would have my entire list cleared out. I've submitted 34 in the last month. So that would be everything in there would be cleared out. And like the area would be so much better. Like my area would be glorious if those 34 went through. So.
I have 4 that are currently pending that I just submitted yesterday.
By the time we record episode 71, those will be done. I'm going to remember to put that in the show notes for episode 71 to see if those are done. And I bet they will be.
Probably. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. They probably will. All right. Moving on. The last thing I think I have from the news. Yeah. Last thing I guess. Do not, and I mentioned this a few weeks ago, do not delete any of your Niantic accounts for any game for any reason ever. There's not only are there reports that people are deleting their Peridot account and it's deleted their Pogo account, which apparently, and I haven't had a chance to dig into it, but somebody pinged me and said that Niantic replied saying that wasn't true and that something else happened. So they're looking, I don't know, but it's not worth it. If you don't want to play a game anymore, just delete the app.
Delete the app. Don't delete your account. That's not a recipe for anything good. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Because you could delete all of your Ingress or your Pogo or your Wayfarer, and then it's gone, right?
Right. And I don't know that that's necessarily easy. Even if they get on it, I don't know if it's easy for them to go and get it back, right?
Yeah, that's funny. I was just about to say that. I imagine that if you get Niantic to look at it like right away, you might be okay. But like the longer it sits, the longer it's gone, the harder it is for them to get it back, probably. And then it comes to a point where it gets wiped.
Yeah, where it's just gone. Yeah.
You see you later. Right.
Yep.
So just a warning for the folks out there. be careful if you're frustrated with Niantic.
I've never been a person that deletes the account. I guess I'm a pack rat. I'll delete the app, right? Like every 8 or 9 months, I'll install Candy Crush or something because I said, oh, I remember this game. This game was fun. And then I'll play it for like a few days and I'm like, oh, that's right. I got to this level and now this game sucks and I'll delete it. But I didn't go through and delete the account. I just deleted the app and just kind of kept it going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I deleted my Clash Royale account. Like I deleted the actual account because I got so frustrated with what they were doing with the game. And I was like, I'm never going back. So,
and have you gone back?
Nope. I even screen recorded me deleting the account just so people were just like, "Oh, no, you didn't." No, I did.
I never got into Clash Royale. That was one I never really got into that. So I know a lot of people did. I remember when it came out, the apps were, or the ads were everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. So, but that was one I never got into.
So Niantic Aaron replied, and I'm going to read his reply because it's interesting. So this is in response to somebody deleting their Ingress account, and it also deleted their Wayfarer account. Niantic Aaron replied, quote, "This is the current expected behavior resulting in an account deletion request from our other games. We are working with the game team to make this behavior clearer in the Help Center pages explaining the impacts of account deletion requests. Currently, if you do not want your Wayfarer stats to be reset, do not request account deletion for any game related to your Niantic ID." So
makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does make sense. So they are working on making it clearer for everyone.
So Niantic is siloed in a whole lot of areas, but not that.
Yeah,
they are together there.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not pretty good, but it's not funny. Haha, it's funny, ironic. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So be careful with your information, people.
Right, exactly. Don't delete your Niantic account unless you want everything that Niantic touches to go away.
Exactly. All right. Moving on. I wanted to talk about location edits.
Okay.
So
let's talk about location edits.
You pull up the thing that I've shared for everyone. Not a while ago, Niantic changed so that you couldn't move something in game more than, I can't remember, it was like 100 meters.
100 meters. Right? It was 100 meters, yes.
Right. So you couldn't move it in the game. Anything over that, you had to get Niantic to do it for you. Like you had to submit a help ticket and say, hey, this is too far for me to move in game. I want you to do it, because people were abusing it. Right. And the abuse on that was rampant.
It sure was.
There's
quick shout out to the group of ambassadors who kind of identified this and worked with Niantic to get this through.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But there was a workaround that you could submit something in the game and then have get a bunch of reviewers to move it, suggest a new location, and move it to where you actually wanted it, and then you could get Wayspots in the game where they shouldn't be, right? Niantic has plugged that hole, and now you can only suggest a new location up to 100 meters. So if you try
100 meters is a lot.
It is.
That's
so this is my question to you, Jamal. Is 100 meters good? Too far? Not enough? What do you think?
I think 100 meters is too far, and I'll tell you why. So recent experience, I've been out nominating things in an area where there hasn't been a whole lot of really good cell phone data. So I hit submit in Ingress and it like never goes through. So I always submit later. Then when I get home, I submit it.
Right.
But, you know, I'm known as the guy that's what's a few meters between friends, but not what's 100 meters between friends, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think I've ever nominated something 100 meters off of where it should have been or asked to move something 100 meters. I mean, 100 meters is a long ways. I mean, that's a long ways away. Like, That's like if we're looking at S2 cells, that's 3 or 4 cells away from where it's supposed to be. So I think 100 meters is a good compromise. But realistically, I think if I was doing it, if we look at Niantic says you need their approval to move something over 10 meters, 10 meters should probably be the radius, I think personally.
Yeah.
Because if I'm standing in a location, even if I don't have good cell phone coverage, when I get home, I'm never going to be able to get the exact pin on the map that I was at. But if I've got a 10-meter radius, I'm going to be close looking at the overhead map. That's my personal opinion.
Yep. Oh, I completely agree. I think 100 meters is far too high. It used to be, it used to be 3 kilometers.
Like, which is
bonkers. Like you could, and it's funny because there are times where people have legitimately put stuff a couple of kilometers away from where it actually was, and I was able to find it, and I'm like, oh, I suggest this is a new location, but clearly that's not. I'm just gonna project it as mismatched location, right? Trying to send that message to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think 100 meters is too much. I think it should be 20 at the most.
I just went with 10 because that's kind of consistent with the help ticket. If you're trying to move something more than 10 meters, and I've actually submitted a help ticket to move something more than 10 meters. And I'll give you an example. I live in Charlotte. Bank of America Stadium is where the Carolina Panthers play. And there's been a few things that have been nominated inside the stadium. And I'm like, okay, I know where that is in the stadium and I know where they submitted it, but it's really like over here. Like it's a statue and the statue's here. Like they were close, but like I have season tickets. So when I go on Sundays, I can actually move it right to where the statue is, and I've done that a couple times. But I've had to go through the help process in order to get it moved.
Right. Yeah, and it's helpful, right? Like they're super good about getting stuff done, and getting stuff moved and getting your questions answered and stuff. But
100 meters, my goodness, like
yeah.
I don't know if I could
10 to 20, I think is good. Right. And then anything other than that, I think you need to just reject it as mismatched location and move on. Right. Send the message saying, hey.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think if someone is trying to move something 50 meters, Niantic should know about that.
100%. Absolutely. Because then you could say, you can go back and look and say, how did that get so far away from where it should have been in the first place? Like, how did that get approved?
Yes.
50, 100 meters away, 200 meters away, 3 kilometers away from where it's supposed to be. Right. Like, who approved that and who submitted it? Right. Mm-hmm. And chances are you're going to find more of that in that area. And all those reviewers are going to be the same accounts, and all those submitters are going to be the same accounts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm not
and
saying
then you can draw the patterns of behavior.
But I'm saying what I'm saying.
That's right. Just saying what I'm saying.
So, and kudos to Niantic for addressing that behavior.
Right. And like we said the last couple of weeks, Niantic Wayfarer is killing it when it comes to improving the game and their communication. Granted, their communication is not on Twitter, but given the toxic nature of Twitter, it's probably a good thing. But I can't be mad at anything that Wayfarer is doing right now because I don't think there's any Wayfinder that says they're not being heard. I don't think there's any Wayfinder that says that Niantic is not responding. I think they're knocking it out of the park right now.
Me too. I completely agree. 100%. One other thing I wanted to talk about, speaking of moving stuff, actual moves. Mm-hmm. How much success have you had actually moving Wayspots? Because I find it very difficult.
So I have only tried to move things like a mural from like one side of the mural to the other, right? And a couple of those have gotten denied, and they're like, it's right where it's supposed to be. And I know they know I'm trying to move it to a different cell, but it's still on the mural, but it's just kind of in a different cell. But I haven't really tried to move anything really far. I've tried to clean things up more than anything. And I'd say I'm probably 70% success rate
That's
moving
not bad.
things.
That's not
Yeah.
bad.
But
I
I
haven't
haven't tried
tried
to
a
I haven't tried to move anything like outrageously, away from where it normally is.
right. I I'm in the same boat. I haven't tried a lot. A few of the things that I've tried to move from one cell to another gets rejected because it's and I get that. Um,
Mhm.
do you think that we should be able to add like a little description or a box that says why are you trying to move this? Do you think that would help, or do you think that would?
I absolutely love that idea. I remember back in the day, we all used to do that when we would put in, something when we were trying to edit, and
Yes.
you would put in the edit, and then you'd put in a secondary edit where you would explain why you were doing it.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that? And then some people
No.
started to get bans. Yeah,
Yep.
I did that. Like I would say, I would put in the move, and then I'd put in the description, and I'd be like, read this, like not a
Hmm.
description. And I'd be like, we're trying to move this to here because X, Y, or Z. And then like it got through the community, like, don't do that. That's
Yeah.
influencing people. And I remember seeing those come through. To me, I found it incredibly helpful. I'm like, okay, now I know why you're trying to move it from here to here. You're trying to move it off the merry-go-round and onto the slide because of this. I thought that was great. Other people, not so much. But I would love to have something just what you suggested. This is why I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, and I still see that. It happens all the time when I'm getting edits. People are using the other way to do it. I'm just like, you're not supposed to do that.
Right.
It's technically considered abuse, right? So not a big fan when it comes up in my time, but I get it. Like there's no other way to convey
There's no other way to
why you're
convey.
you're trying to do what you're doing, right?
I'm also not the
So
guy that would go run and report that person for doing that either, because
no.
realistically, they're just trying to get the explorer, the reviewer, the wayfinder, trying to get us more information. Now they might be trying to do abuse, but I mean, I'm always going to take a little bit of explanation. Like if I just see someone's trying to move something and it's like point A and point B, I'm like, what's the point? You're moving it like 20 feet. Like most
Yeah.
times that they're trying to get it to another cell. But if someone gives me an explanation, they're selling it to me. I agree with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally get it, right? There's a couple of times then people are just like, hey, I'm trying to move this into a new cell. And I look and it's like, okay, but you're trying to move it off the object 200 meters away
Mhm.
from the object. So
Yeah,
no, not
yeah.
happening.
That's when it's
Right?
not good. That's when it's
Yeah.
like, I know what you're doing and don't do
Yeah.
it.
I've only ever, I think, reported 2 people for abuse
Mhm.
because it was so egregious that I was just like, no. And one of them is the gazebo bandit is what I've
Oh yeah,
coined
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
if you're in the Pokemon Professor Network Discord, you know who I'm talking about, the gazebo bandit. He's
Mhm.
been caught twice now. Um, he
I actually
submitted,
reported one person, just one.
yeah, yeah.
They were
No,
trying
this
to move one
gazebo
of my
guy.
POIs. They were trying to
Oh,
move one of
no
my
way.
POIs. Yeah, I'm
Ooh,
like, "What are you doing? I'm trying to move
what are
my
you
stuff."
doing?
And they were trying to move it somewhere. I don't even know where they were trying to move it, but they were trying to move it and change the name of it. And I'm like, "No, you're not going to
No,
do that."
no. The gazebo bandit, for those who aren't in the Discord, submitted I think 7 or 8 gazebo POIs with the same picture of the same gazebo.
Mhm.
Um, a couple of them he took a couple different angles, but it was literally the same picture of the same
Same
gazebo under
picture.
trees in like 9 different spots. And he got some of them approved before I
God,
figured it
that's
out and sent it to
hilarious. That's
Niantic. I was just like,
hilarious.
here's how you can tell it's the same gazebo because the knots in the wood are in the exact
Exactly.
same spot.
Look at the background. See that tree? What are the odds of that
Yeah.
same tree being in 8 different places? Like, come on, people.
And like the only reason I caught it was because I had he did 2 at the same time, but he swapped the supporting information and the main photo in both nominations. So one was one, and it was I'm just like, hold on, I literally just saw that like 2 minutes ago.
You're like, wait a minute, something's not
Wait a
adding up here.
minute,
One thing's not like the other.
I'm putting my Sherlock hat on now.
That's right. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. No, but overall, to
Did
answer your question, I think 100 meters is still too far. But I think it's a
yep,
good step in the right direction for Niantic to go in. I think it's a great step, great first step. But I honestly, and someone can prove me wrong. So, hit us up on any one of our socials, add us on Twitter. If you think 100 meters is where it should be, I just think 100 meters is still a little bit too far. I can't think
Yep.
of I'm trying to rack my brain now live on the air, trying to think of a legitimate reason to move something more than 100 meters from where it's at. So, and I can't think of
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll put a poll up on our Twitter and ask
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that.
It's a great idea.
So I think that's it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. Yeah, I think we covered some good things there. Before we go to break, I want to tease something that I want to talk about after break. Because I want to give it its own space.
Okay.
This is something that the first Hamtaro sent to you.
Yes. Yes. Are you going to pull this up on screen, or you just want to tease it?
Well, I'm just going to tease it now. We'll talk about it after break because I want to.
Okay.
I want to give people a little bit of a break, and then we're going to talk about this because it might take a few minutes. Okay. One of us might go on a rant.
One of us, meaning you got your rant ready to go.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It involves a great story of a community coming together to help a quadriplegic kid get a spot by his house legitimately, like a legitimate way spot that he can spin from his house. And I think it's a fantastic story, and I want to talk about it, but we will talk about it after break. So let's roll the break, play some dad jokes, and then we will get into that. So yeah, we'll see you in a couple minutes.
A cheeseburger walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here. I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. I once got fired from a canned juice company. Apparently, I just couldn't concentrate. What do you get when you make a belt full of watches? Apparently, just a waste of time. What does a garlic do when it gets hot? It takes off his clothes. How much does it cost Santa to park his sleigh? Nothing. It's on the house. Why are piggy banks so wise? They're filled with common sense."
All right, everybody, welcome back. Hope you enjoy the dad jokes. Real quick, before we get into Wayspot of the week and the calls of the week, which are fantastic this week, by the way, if I don't say so myself, I wanted to talk about something that the first Hamtaro sent us, friend of the show. He sent us this. So I'm going to read it for our audio listeners, and for our video viewers, it's up on the screen there. It says, "Last year I was reviewing submissions and came across one from a quadriplegic kid that had nominated his bedroom as a stop. Of course, I rejected the submissions, but my friends and I went to his house. Luckily, he lives in the next town over, and introduced ourselves. We asked him and his parents if it would be okay if we made a little free library in front of their house in the right-of-way so that many of us could nominate it to possibly become a stop for him. Due to his condition, he could not be upright in a wheelchair for extended periods of time, so this couch stop would be very helpful to him. We built and installed the library, and after a year, it finally got approved. We're so happy for him. We will now drive by and leave lures for him."
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's such an amazing story, and they included a picture.
Such a great story. Isn't that what we've been talking about the last month? About legitimate ways to help out a rural trainer and a disabled trainer? Like, here it is. Here it is.
This is exactly what we were talking about. And this is a way for the community to come together and say, listen, we're going to make your life just a little bit better, right? We're not solving, the issue that you have. We're not going to try and solve all of the problems of the world, but we can do something with our app, with our game, with our phones, with this system that Niantic has set up for us to use as people, as trainers, as agents, and say, listen, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make someone's life just a little bit better. I'm going to go out and I'm going to use my thumbs and make someone happy. And they went out and they didn't have to do this. They could have just rejected it and be like, couch stop, Cole, see you later, and moved on. But these people took the time to drive out there. Wasn't even in the same town. They had to drive a whole town over to talk to this person and say, hey, can we do this for you? So now they have a beautiful little free library in front of their house that not only could they go out there and grab a couple books and their kid could read the books, but now they've got something where they can drop lures and people in the community can drop lures. And this kid can catch some Pokemon. And it'll take his mind off of stuff.
Cool.
And
absolutely.
And this is what we've been talking about. This is a way that you can make people's lives better. This is the way. Not to quote The Mandalorian, but this is the way.
This is the way. If you know of a story or if you have done something similar to this, reach out to us. We'd love to feature it. That could be a new segment for us when we have one. And I think the interesting thing about this, Chris, is had this kid not doxed himself, they would have never known what was going on. But this is trainers like going out of their way going, this kid, and he put in there, he was just saying, this kid like needs some help and we want to help him. And that's like, man, that's what we want to do. I wish I could find somebody in this situation and help them out.
Yeah, me too, right? I would love to build a little free library for someone, right? And
now,
it's just...
here's the thing, where I live in Charlotte, that would have got marked as PRP, but that's a whole different story.
Why? And that's kind of the other thing that we were talking about, right? Like, 100%. This would get marked as private residential property here too. Mm-hmm. And it is. But you know what? Who was this harming?
Right.
Nobody.
Yep.
Absolutely nobody.
Yep.
This harms absolutely nobody. And it helps someone who has severe mobility issues and can't go out and play the game, right? And it helps them have something that they can open up their phone and have a little bit of joy in their life.
Right.
Catch some Pokemon, drop a lure, maybe catch a couple shinies, do spotlight hour.
Right. And then if they're incredibly lucky, that could someday get elevated to a gym and then this kid would be able to raid. But I mean, either way, it's going to work. So, I mean, these are the types of things that I would like to encourage everybody who can hear our voice to go out and do something like this. You're just making things better for the person that's coming along next. I mean, it's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, this warms my heart. And I want to say, if anybody involved in this is listening, reach out. We would love to talk to you. This is just fantastic, right? This is the best story that I've read in months with regards to Wayfarer. And like Jamal said, if you've got stories like this, we would love to hear them. We can create a whole new section, a whole new segment on the show. Highlighting stuff like this.
Absolutely. And this didn't involve anyone get screamed at or called a name or blocked on Twitter. Exactly. This was just somebody in a different town who found out about a kid. And to give a little more context on this, when the kid originally nominated it, he put in there that he was disabled and that he couldn't walk and he could only sit upright for 3 hours a day. He put that in his supporting information, where we all jaded, we're just like, stop begging for a stop, need more stops. But that's how they were like, you know what? Let's go and investigate this. And, I'm not asking people to just go up to a random stranger's house 2 towns over who, mistakenly put their address on Wayfarer, but they did it and it worked and I love it. And I think it's so awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, if you've got, even if you live in a rural area and you've taken your little town from one stop to a bunch of gyms, let us know. We will highlight it. We will pump up your tires. We will put it out there. We want to hear it. We want to see it.
What do the kids say? We'll gas you up.
Yeah, we will gas you up.
Isn't that what the kids say this day? We'll gas you up. Yeah.
I think so.
It might be our new hashtag, gas you up. I don't know what.
Gas you up. Yes.
Gas you up.
Yes. That's what we'll call the section. Gas you up. Let us gas you up.
Yeah. Let the Wayfarer boys gas you up. Awesome. All right. What do you got next for us?
Oh, Wayspot of the week.
Wayspot of the week. So, I didn't tell you this. This is new. You don't know this. Or maybe you do know this. We are working behind the scenes to create a new sounder for Wayspot of the Week. Did I tell you about this?
Oh, nice. You didn't know. You told me that you were going to work on it with someone, but
yeah. So we won't share it right now because the person we're working on it with is very busy, but they are going to be creating a specialized Wayspot of the Week sounder that we'll be able to play. So more to come there.
That is exciting. before we do Wayspot of the week, if you're watching the YouTube version, my headphones have changed because my earbuds died. So if you're wondering what's going on there,
We're like, hold on a second. Was it Chris? Where did they come from all of a sudden? So it's so funny the things that like the audio listeners never clue in on. Like,
yeah,
like back in the day when we recorded just video only, sometimes I'd be here in a raid. I'm like tapping and I'm like, I can't do that now because there's people watching me. So it's like, I'm like, ooh, shiny. I'm like, oh, but so I'm not doing raids now. See, I'm just here. I'm not doing
there you
raids,
go.
So
I don't even have mine on. Yeah.
I do have a balloon there that but it's 2 times thingies right now for the balloons. But yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
Chris has headphones on, and they look exquisite. They look exquisite. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I love these headphones, but the earbuds are better for recording.
Yeah.
So, Wayspot of the week. This is from friend of the show, Testone. And I wanted to bring this one up. Love Testone. That episode that you guys did with the plugins, fantastic. Yes. That on hold one, oh my god, it's changed my life. It's funny when I was editing it and you guys were talking about it, I was just like, hold on, I didn't know that existed either.
You're like, what?
And then you were just like, I didn't know that existed. I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm not the only one.
Right. So I've been doing this for how long and I didn't know that?
Oh yeah. So I gotta start checking that website regularly. So if you haven't seen that, I will put a tag up in the corner. You can click on that and it will bring up that video. But yeah, Wayspot of the week is Taco Bell Wedding Chapel. And I wanted to bring this one up because not only is it fantastic, but our friend at Wayfarer Cole on Twitter, and I'll put that up. I don't have it queued up here, but they got it in their reviews and posted on Twitter about it. And it blew their mind. And it was, I think one of the hashtags they used was, oh my, I can't believe this is a thing, but hashtag slam dunk acceptance. So right. It is Taco Bell Wedding Chapel. It is it's like an archway that's lit up, and it's got the two bells from the Taco Bell logo, and it's all lit up, and it's got a bunch of flowers painted on the wall outside it, and it's kind of like on a tile mosaic wall, and it looks very pretty. And it apparently is somewhere where you could get married at a Taco Bell. And the description, and I think the description is just amazing. Serving up nachos and I-dos since 2017. This one-of-a-kind wedding venue can be ordered right off the menu, giving 15 of you and 15 of your closest friends an unburritable experience.
That was the best part. Unburritable. That was the best part. So Chris, you left out the best part.
What's that?
You left out the best part. Okay, look at it. Read what it says right under Taco Bell Wedding Chapel. Read that.
Oh yeah, it's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
That's right.
Where else could you get married at a Taco Bell but in Vegas? Could you get married by the fat Elvis, like eating a burrito?
I bet that you could arrange that. I am 100% sure that you could arrange that.
Right. When I saw it, that was the first thing I noticed when it said Taco Bell Wedding Chapel. And then I'm like 3717 South Las Vegas Boulevard. I'm like, I actually know where that is. That's down by the Circus. I know where. Not
it's
that
like right on the strip.
Yeah, it's right on the strip. I'm like, I know where that is. I'm like, that is amazing. Like Testone, like mwah, chef's kiss.
Oh, chef's kiss. This is fantastic. This is one of my favorite way spots of the week that we've ever done.
Right.
So
love it. Love it.
All right, let's move on to Cole of the Week. All right, Cole of the Week. How about you take this one and I'll take the next one?
All right, look at that. Cole of the Week. You can see it on the screen. This one is too good. Like, let me go ahead and pull this up on my screen here, and let's talk about this one. All right. So this one, what you're looking at here, listeners, is a Cole of the Week. So I'm going to read you the description, and I'm going to read you the title and the description. Then I'm going to tell you what you're looking at. So the title is Diego. And the description is adopted and currently looking for a home. So think in your mind, what could this possibly be? Now, the main photo is a photo of who I could only assume to be some teenager named Diego, who's wearing some red Vans, some cargo shorts, and a sweatshirt. And he's sitting in a classroom with his book bag to his left side, and it's just Diego. And the supporting information is, please accept this. We need a Wayspot here, exclamation point. And it's a picture of a classroom with a bunch of computers. And what we're looking at is a monitor with an Apple on it. And I can only assume that this is a middle school / high school. So there's like 19,000 reasons why we would say no to this. And it just depends on which one we want them to see. But there's so many things wrong with this here.
Yeah.
And this is, it's submitter identified, right?
Yep.
For one, we don't know if he's a submitter, but I'm going to go on the limb, say submitter identified. K through 12. There's just so many things that I could point out here that is just wrong. I'm sorry, Diego. You're not getting a Wayspot.
Nope. So this is from friend of the show, Sarah Amanda. And it was she mentioned that it was at a high school. Yeah, this is definitely at a high school. So
yeah.
Nice
Good stuff.
Good
nice
stuff.
And cold-tastic.
Cold-tastic, exactly.
Cold-tastic.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Coal of the Week number 2.
Okay.
And this features my favorite rejection reason ever.
Live animal?
No, that one's yours.
That's my favorite reason. Yeah.
Get out your dang car.
Get out. It's not that far. Get out your car.
It's not that far. Get out your car. So this is Anna's Beauty Salon, and the description is Nampa resident founded and operated beauty store. So first of all, beauty store is not eligible.
Right. Oh, Nampa. Oh, this is Idaho. Is this Agent X?
This is from Agent X. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. So this is a picture of the front of a beauty store, and it is Anna's beauty store. But you can see the whole dashboard in this picture. It looks like
the dashboard's not even clean.
It's not even it looks like a beauty store in a strip mall.
Yeah.
So it's not even an interesting. You can see a license plate in the reflection of the front door. So there's a license plate.
Yep.
The dashboard's not clean. You can see a BB-8 in the rear view mirror hanging down there. It's like a little air freshener. You can and like the glove box is open.
It is. The glove box is totally open.
You can see there's a stick of deodorant in there.
Yep, it sure is. Wow, look at that.
And like a bunch of other stuff that I don't even know if I want to talk about. It's in that glove box. The dashboard is filthy.
Well, I think the best part of this, Cole, is we don't even see the sign on the building. There's more of the dashboard than there is of the building. Yep. Like we don't even see the sign to verify that it's actually Anna's Beauty Supply.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see it in that one window there. Kind of, but not really. Like I had to squint to see.
It's not clear.
And like the supporting info is just like they turned to the right a little bit and took a picture out their window of someone's car, and you can actually see the Anna's Beauty Salon logo in the supporting photo better than you can see it in the main photo.
And they did the windows up. They didn't even roll down the window.
Yep. They didn't even roll down the window.
Oh man,
so much wrong with this.
So much.
And
this is great, Cole.
Cole. See you later.
Cole. Yep. See ya.
So that's it. I think we're good. You got anything you wanna add?
Nothing that I want to talk about this late in the show. I have a couple of things that we may go over next week. Just for a teaser. We had the opportunity, meaning the Pokemon Professor Network, to have one of our representatives, Ken, who actually owns the network, to go out to the Niantic office to review some features that are coming to Pokemon Go soon. And we asked him, hey, while you're out there, see if you can work on some features for Wayfarer. But the reason I bring that up is there was another creator that was there, Fleece King, who, for some of you who may remember, there was a little controversy there going on with us and him. And we just want to pass on to the listeners that anything that was ill will in the background has been squashed, and everybody is friends. Kumbaya. We're hugging each other, licking each other's faces. Everything is good to go. So we may have more on that later on, or it may just be everything is good and we leave it alone. So some of you that were less than happy with us or whatever it was, or happy with us, that's all been squashed and everything is good.
Yep. So absolutely. No, it was good. It was good that Ken was able to do that. So I feel good about that. And Ken was able to make a couple other contacts out there of some people that we might have on the show later. So
look at you with the tease.
We don't do enough teasers for next week's show. I think we should start doing that more often.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming up. Yeah, we're going to be doing some collaborations and all kinds of stuff. Oh, you know what we should do?
What?
We should. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring an extra mic to New York and have it in the Airbnb. And then anybody who's staying in the Airbnb, I'm going to let them record a message and edit it, and we can put it in the podcast.
That's a great idea.
And I might figure out, God, it's going to be, field mics are really tough. I've got a little field mic, like a little lapel mic. Maybe I'll bring a lapel mic and then we can take turns and just walk around and ask people about Wayfarer while we're at GoFest. I don't know. We can talk about this later, but what do you think?
Good idea? That idea. I love that idea.
And then we can edit it all down and save it for like a special, and then just talk to people and kind of do some man on the street interviews. We just got to make sure the audio quality is good. So let's workshop that, because that's something I wanted to do in Seattle and it never happened, and I was very disappointed about it.
I have a mic for my camera. I'm gonna bring my camera because that's a fantastic idea. We'll do some recording. Yes, absolutely. We'll workshop that and we'll let you guys know.
Cool. I love it. All right. I'll shut my mouth, let you close us out.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening to this episode of Wayspotters. Very special thank you goes out to our executive producer, KatettheKonz. Thank you. If you enjoy what you're here, there are a few ways you could show us. First, join us on Twitter at Wayspotters, and on Instagram at Wayspotters Podcast. We are also on TikTok at I Make Wayspots. We are incredibly responsive and love interacting with our listeners. Some of our TikToks have over 2,500 views, so if you haven't gone to check it out, please do. You can also rate us and review us on the podcast service that you are currently listening to. Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple, Google, iHeartMedia, and there's a bunch of others. 5 stars, the best stars. We love it. If you could leave us a review, we will get around to reading them all on the show at some point, because we love reading our reviews, good and bad. Second, visit our website, www.wayspotters.com. From there, you can get the links to everywhere you can download the show. And you can also send us a message directly from the website or email us, wayspotters@pokemonprofessor.com. Third, leave us a voicemail on our hotline, 704-426-3710. You never know, your voicemail may appear on an upcoming episode of the show. You can also tweet us a voice message, email us a voice message. We will throw it on the show. Like I said, good or bad. If you're not a member of the Pokemon Professor Network Patreon, you can join for as little as $1 US a month. That is $1.33 Canadian. You'll have access to the entire Discord and the entire family of shows across the Pokemon Professor Network, including Wayspotters, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch 'Em All, Purified Podcast, and Lured Up. It is a fantastic place that is very active and filled with a bunch of great people. With that, we look forward to you listening to us next week. Thank you for listening to Wayspotters. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. And remember, it's not that far. Get out of your car.
See ya.
Beautiful.